gonna get you straight.
It's like a little dorm room.
It's true to life size, 22 pound, 28 3/4 inch.
Still the same great.
Nice catch.
So the 70 size reel is looking like it comes in at 9.5 grams.
9.35 grams with the spool bearing on it. Interesting. That was kind of cool to actually see them all next to each other, side by side by side by side. And now the question has to be asked: what are you doing with the weeds? Bassmaster Classic. Gentlemen, ladies, and anyone in between, I'm here again at the Daiwa booth, Day 2, 2019 Bassmaster Classic. Once again with Mark Mills. I want to talk the Steez.
You want to talk Steez? Well, this is our flagship low-profile reel. We are introducing it right now here at the 2019 Bassmaster Classic. Kind of giving you guys a quick snapshot. You guys may have seen it a little bit on social media, but here it is in person. This reel here, we have 2 different gear ratios. We do a 6.3 to 1, and this one here is the 8 to 1. You know it's the 8 to 1 because it has the purple highlights. The 6.3 to 1 has the gold highlights, so you know when it's sitting on your desk or on the deck of your boat which reel it's going to be. What makes this spectacular is this is an all magnesium frame, all magnesium side plate. It's extremely light. It's coming in at 5.3 ounces, so it's one of the lightest bait casters right now in the market. Very refined. The bearing count in is a 12+1 bearing, so it's got a lot of bearings, but that isn't necessarily what all it makes it smooth. It's all the engineering around it. When you go into some of the cool features that this reel has, you've got an 80mm handle. You've got your Sv G1 aluminum spool. It's extremely lightweight. If you pull the spool out, you're going to feel how light it really is. That gives it a lot of less inertia to make a cast, casting light baits, casting heavier baits, good control. If you take those 2 features, add them with the T-wing system, gives you a lot better cast, a lot less backlashes, a lot further cast. There's no resistance in the line when it's traveling back and forth. With this T-wing system, it's a wider area. It allows it to go right out. You also see on the T-wing system that the area right here is much smaller than most bait casting reels. That allows the line to be packed right next to each piece of line, so it lays on the spool a lot better. That also gives you a better cast. Over and above that, we've refined the reel itself. It's a 70 size, so it's a much smaller size reel than our past Steez that we've had out, which is more of a 100. And then we've refined the side plate a little bit. As you can see, nothing hits your hand there. It's very comfortable. All your adjustments to your magnetic braking system's right there, and it fits real nice in your hand. So this reel here is absolutely beautiful. Once again, it is our flagship reel, coming in at $699. So it's not cheap, but if you're looking for one of the best reels, or probably the best reel in the whole market, the Steez 70 is the one for you. Grab it, pick it up. You can see it right here at the Bassmaster Classic. We're here at the Daiwa booth. My name's Mark Mills.
And cut. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Pleasure, as always. Looks like I gotta do some upgrading.
Yeah, it's a nice thing, really. This spool weighs like nothing. Did you feel it?
I'm still filming, so I don't know off the top of your head comparison between this spool. All right, you got the SV in the seat. That's an SV spool. The standard Steez SV that was originally out for the last couple of years.
Do you want to see the difference in the weight? I got a...
Beautiful. Yeah, buddy. Now I don't know how to take the spools off on them.
I will. We'll go through. Let's make sure. I know it's lighter, but I don't know how much lighter. So let's have some fun here.
That's fine.
I haven't even done it yet. Like I said, these just came in.
Hooray, science. Now, just for you guys out there that like to call me shills promoting for companies, I met Mark for the first time yesterday on day 1 of the Classic. Excellent guy, very helpful, very knowledgeable, all around cool dude. I'm here with Josh from J&H Tackle. He's sitting out there. So if I act like I have a previous relationship with the guys at the booth, it's generally through Josh introducing me to pretty much everybody throughout the entire show. So I don't have any prior relationships. I'm not shilling for any company, but it's pretty cool.
So the 70 size reel is looking like it comes in at 9.5 grams.
9.35 grams with the spool bearing on it.
And
anytime you're on the south side of 9.5, you're doing good. With the bearing especially.
And the 100.
Wow. Now, for you guys out there, BFS is an area of the tackle industry that's not really taken off yet in the United States. It involves throwing ultralight baits down to a 16th or even lighter, 32nd, in some cases a 64th of an ounce. The current generation up to this point, that's been out for a few years, of the Steez Sv TW, I've had no issues at all throwing an 1/8 of an ounce jerk baits. We're not talking about 1/8 ounce light heads with a grub that come in at a 1/4 ounce. We're talking 1/8 ounce baits, 16th ounce baits. With this spool, off the standard, or the previous generation Steez Sv TW, handled that pretty well. Look at the difference. Night and day. This is a fraction of the size, meaning less startup inertia. I'm not trying to go out on a limb and make claims without actually fishing it. This could be one of the most versatile baits, because what the issue you run into with BFS specific reels, you put 10-pound braid, put 20-pound braid on it, fish higher max drag settings, you'll actually bend the spool shaft. You'll do damage when you set the hook to pull out a snag. This appears to be a standard spool construction, just a little bit smaller. So we got 9.35 grams on the new Steez CT, size 70. That's very interesting. That includes the ball bearing with those weights.
Yeah, it's one of the lightest spools that I've seen.
Now, the guys that are fishing these, are they using it for general bass duty?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
You're going to see most of the guys using this for everything from, you know, most of the guys that do this, they're buying it because they're that picky guy. They're using it for everything. They may not even have a bass boat. They may just be one of those guys that fished from the shore and wants kind of one of the best reels out there. So they may be using it off the shore, you know, doing their kind of thing and doing their things. I call them like bass ninjas. But trust me, the bass ninjas that are out there, there's plenty of bass boat guys that you're going to see a bunch of these on the guy's deck, you know.
No, that's cool.
By all means, it's not cheap, but it's pretty awesome.
Now, can we bring this, and then take a look at the zillion? Is this? I'm not a spool aficionado.
Spool junkie?
Yeah, they're out there. I mean, I'll fish avail spools when it comes to some Abu gear, and I'm trying to, certain long cast reels I'll go that for saltwater with the Italian machine aluminum. Make 3 runs a year, but some of the guys out there are nuts. I'm just gonna step back here, so I didn't realize he was filming over there. Day 2 of the Bassmaster Classic here on Saturday. Fairly crowded.
Where did you get this little fish?
Yamaha was walking around giving them out. I got a couple and I gave 2 of them away.
Here it is.
I gave them all away.
Brand new Steez. This is the CT.
You know what? Here.
SV
I was going to give it away.
What that
Here.
stands
Are you
for,
sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my God.
I got to fly
Thanks.
back to Jersey tomorrow, so it's going to get destroyed.
with the tattoo.
It's like a little dorm room.
It's true to life size, 22 pound, 28 3/4 inch.
Still the same great
Nice catch.
whole Daiwa lineup.
So what's kind of fun here
All right.
is, let me make sure this was it. Yeah. So the Steez spool, we just did that. We got to go through this. This will be a fun little test.
No, this is good
so
stuff.
you've got the 70 spool right there,
9.34.
9.34. You've got the Steez spool that we said, the larger 100 size.
The one that's been out for 2 years.
Been out for a few years. Hold on, sticking to my fingers here.
11.36. So we got 2 grams heavier.
2 grams heavier. And then this is the zillion spool. 12.27.
Okay.
So we're literally, you can see where.
Step down.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys, they like the zillion spools, anything SV. And you know what?
Well, if you want to take it one step further and
Tatula SV. I know it's a completely different spool design because it has the, I don't think it has a live spindle on the spool shaft. I think it continues through the side plate to the spool tension adjuster. But that'd be cool.
You want to just keep this one? You want to go?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, continue on. I'll keep an eye on these and walk away with it. I might walk away with one of the Steezes. The breezes and the treeses lift the skirts above the girls' Steezes. Take your time, my friend. I can always speed it all up in post. you now, in terms of a tackle junkie, when you see somebody who's really up there in the Daiwa, chain of things, who's excited to do this, it doesn't look at me as like I'm a pain in the ass. That actually makes me kind of give me a warm and fuzzy. I ain't gonna lie. When I'm buying a product from a company, it's definitely cool. And you guys have seen my videos before. I don't hide behind anything. I'm not a shill. I am a Daiwa VIP member. I have been for 10 years, so I do buy products at a discount. So when you see me review the products, I'm not paying full retail, but I also don't owe Daiwa anything. I don't owe them any favors. So 13.9.
13.9. As you can see,
yep.
In price point range, it tends to go up. A little bit bigger shaft on it as well.
You can see that's what I referred to earlier. We have the SV spool and the Tatula SV. You guys are all familiar with this. A little bit heavier spool. A lot of that comes through that axle extending through the handle side plate into the spool tension adjustment knob. Where on the other reels, they cut this off clean. They add almost like a T-yoke that extends from the spool tension adjustment knob through the reel that impacts the nub on the side of the spool. That's what adds tension to the spool if you ever have to use that. It doesn't actually add any unsprung weight or mass to the spool to increase the startup inertia. And
we'll keep going. Let's just do it all the way up so people can start to see it. I don't mind. It's always fun because what's good about this is that the lighter the spool is, the better and easier and more manageable the casting is.
No doubt.
Everybody in the industry spins a spool, and if it spins a long time, they think it's going to cast better. And truly, that is not the effect.
Controlling it is what you want.
And it's the inertia. And if you take a skateboard wheel and you spin that, and you take a truck tire and spin that,
it's
how
a
much
flywheel.
easier? Exactly.
The more mass you have going, the harder it is to slow it down.
So you step into, you can go to 100 size we can look at.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just put it.
It's not as much friction. If your line's on this side, not getting as much friction going out.
Now this is the Tatula 100. Not an SV spool. 17.2 ounces. Yeah. So thicker wall. I mean, right off the bat,
it's a thicker wall.
If you pinch this, there's just a lot more metal on the outside edge of the spool. You still have that axle that extends throughout the side plate, which we just mentioned on the SV Tatula. Still have the non-fixed inductor. So what will end up happening here is when you try to throw a lighter weight bait, when you get down to or below that 1/8 ounce, you're going to have a little bit less accuracy because you're going to have to let your thumb off the spool, to allow the line to start paying out. But you have to start your casting stroke earlier, and you're not really casting at the trajectory you want when you go down to the light stuff. Not something that you'd be throwing 1/8 ounce payloads with, but a quarter ounce thrown up to 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces, you're perfectly fine with something like this. Which again, the Tatula 100, general duty. That was a CT spool?
That was a 100. This is a new CT spool right here.
Okay.
I mean, this is a CT spool.
Perfect.
So this is kind of basically is at the price point there of CT, and now we're looking at.
All right, enjoy your evening.
17.27.
17.27.
Again, general duty, general purpose. Line your bass boat deck with something like this. You're throwing jigs, spinnerbaits, worming, all that kind of jazz. Finesse stuff when it comes to bait casters. Still something fairly specific. That's when you step up to the SV. That way you get better control in casting the light stuff along with the general duty. Interesting. That was kind of cool to actually see them all next to each other, side by side by side by side. And now the question has to be asked: what are you doing with the weeds? Bassmaster Classic.
Actually, he did that to show that some of our spinning reels are the lightest in the industry.
There you go. That works for me.
In case we want to party afterwards, but he didn't hear that. I am from California, and I think it's legal.
That's right. That's pretty funny.
Do you realize how these guys just catch
Now, while I have you here, I'll give you a minute. I'll go speed this up in post. Do you want to give me a rundown again on the Procyon versus Tatula?